guys, welcome back to another episode of Seoul Therapy, the podcast. My name is Juan, and I'm with
Daytona.
I'm Daniel.
And today we're going to be talking about Yugyeom joining AOMG, as well as our opinion on high school rapper 4 so far. Like always, if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to our podcast on all streaming platforms. And for more contents, please go and follow us on our socials at Seoul_Therapy. All right, so I think we're going to go to the first topic right now. So Yugyeom from GOT7 has joined AOMG. Now, this is a big deal because Jay Park, the CEO of AOMG, was also from JYP. And now another idol artist from JYP has moved on to the hip-hop scene, supposedly. So, yeah, what do you guys think?
I don't actually know how to comment on this. Because from what I know, GOT7 didn't break up, right?
Technically, no. Yeah.
Yeah. They just, each member has like different labels behind them, if I'm correct.
Right.
So I'm not sure if Yugyeom is actually transitioning into a hip hop artist. Like, I think from what I know, I thought it was just AOMG being his label rather than this actually signifying Yugyeom transitioning into a hip hop or a hip hop musician. So, like, that's why I think the first thing he's shown to shown to his fans was dance visuals, right? It was a dance visual.
Yeah.
It wasn't a new song or something. It wasn't like him rapping or going into a full R&B like transition. So I'm not sure if he is actually in the hip hop scene because I'm not sure if he wants to. Like this whole thing is very new to me because I think this is quite unprecedented. You didn't have K-pop idol boy groups, boy bands each member having different labels. I think that never happened before. I might be wrong here. So like I really don't know how it's going to go from here. Like, is it actually like you just said, Juan? Like, is he transitioning into a full-fledged hip-hop artist? Right. Or is it just a label being AOMG and he's going to just work in GOT7, or is this going to be an entire new solo venture? Like, I have no idea what's going on. It's just very refreshing to see. Like, AOMG branching out, I think.
Yeah, that's one explanation. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I always have this, creed, not creed, but I think I think the best business model is like rappers making up the hip hop scene, but the labels that are backing them to not be exclusively hip hop. Like, that's what I want. Like, you don't see States rappers having this. Like, they have contracts with EMI, they have contracts with Columbia, they have Republic. The most hip hop label in the States was Def Jam, and even Def Jam manages pop artists. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
It's always a good idea for businesses to not be closed down and bound down into a single genre, unless you're like a super underground label, because it means more revenue, it means more capital. Right. And in this, if AOMG really branches out into a multi-purpose entertainment company rather than being strictly a hip-hop label, it means that there can be more financial opportunities for AOMG to take the capital from outside markets and invest in the hip-hop scene. Yeah, so I think that's what we have to look at this. Like, this is a very unprecedented business venture. Like, Ambition Music didn't do this. Illionaire Records didn't do this. Highlight didn't do this.
Right.
There is Brand New Music, but Brand New Music's hip-hop division is basically defunct right now. It's transitioned to a K-pop company. So I really want to see if Jay Park with his AOMG like new venture with Yugyeom, like, really make a label that dabbles in both sides. I think that's what we have to look out for right now.
I definitely I definitely agree with Daytona. And for me, this is kind of crazy to say, but I actually wrote about, well, first off, I'm really happy for Yugyeom joining AOMG. I think it's really cool, but I also at the same time think it's important that K-pop idols, slowly branch out to their solo careers. And for Yugyeom to get signed to AOMG, I think it's a huge deal, not just for him himself, but I think the culture of K-pop idols in general. And the reason why I say that is because I actually wrote about, I told you guys this before, but I did write about my thesis on Korean hip hop. And in the introduction portion of it, I kind of briefly talked about how I kind of criticized the K-pop industry in a way, but not to the extreme, but just generally just about how the way the idols are being treated in these companies and the way they have little to no freedom and what they can't do.
Talk, Daniel. Yes.
So from that perspective, I'm really happy for Yugyeom because I think it's a new start to his career. But also at the same time, I also think that you're going to see the real side of Yugyeom.
For sure.
Because
for sure,
from what I heard, he's been uploading his own stuff on SoundCloud, and he hasn't been able to show that kind of talent in JYP, right? Just because again, that K-pop's standard of, oh, you can't do this, or you need to follow this rule, you can't do X, Y, and Z. So
like this alienates fans, so don't do it, blah, 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 stuff like that.
Yeah, right. So there's kind of like this hierarchical system going on within these K-pop companies. And for, Yugyeom to transition over to a different world, I'm really happy. And it's just sad to me just to hear this day in and day out about the way idols are being treated at these big companies. And again, like I mentioned in our previous episode about, how money is important. I understand that. But at the same time, money will come and go. It's not like money is going to just stay forever. It's going to go at some point. So and if you're bringing in these idols, sure, it's important to make that money for future stuff. But at the same time, you need to understand that these people are human as well. Because a lot of tragic things have been happening within the K-pop culture. And it's just really hurting. And it's very, heavy within me to hear these kinds of issues that have been going on for a while. And, I think it's important that people speak up on this just because idols are, sure, you're helping, making money to feed your family and doing all this stuff. It's great. It's, you're promoting yourself, you're showing off your skills, your talents, but at the same time, deep inside, are they really happy, right? Are they really happy with the way they're being treated or the way they're being restricted? And it's crazy because I know Jay Park went through that similar incident when he was at JYP with 2 p.m., right? He wanted to try something new, but, due to that system of hierarchy, he wasn't able to, fully, show that talent. And for him to, leave, I thought it was a great opportunity. I was happy for Jay Park to be completely honest, because I knew that Jay Park had more than to just the vocals itself. I knew that he had more talent than that. So look where he's at now, right? He owns 2 labels, right? And
Rock Nation Management.
There you go. So,
damn, I still can't believe it. How the fuck do you get managed by Rock Nation?
That's unreal. That's a blessing, man. But just going back to this, K-pop thing of just gaining little to no freedom, it's just at some point you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I doing the right thing? Am I really helping these idols out? Or or is it going in the opposite direction where I'm hurting these artists, in a way that's, just, it's going to affect them mentally, So it's crazy because I hear stories about what they eat, what they cannot eat, and it's just
where they can go, where they can't. What time they should sleep, what time they are allowed to talk on social media, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff.
It's just sad. It's essentially on the outside, everything looks great, right? But inside, there's so much darkness going on. And I really think that, idols need to speak more upon this. Because I remember the artist One, I remember him being, part of that K-pop culture. And he spoke out about that and the darkness that he went through. And for, Yugyeom to now switch over to AOMG, I think this is a amazing transition and a brand new start to his career, to where I think we're going to be able to see a lot of maybe R&B, even some hip hop in him, because I know his SoundCloud stuff have been a lot different from the stuff that he's been doing with GOT7 at JYP. So,
he has a SoundCloud account. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's been actually making a lot of stuff in his SoundCloud, and people are like, "Come on, like."
Maybe he really is transitioning into this scene then.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping. Hoping. I'm hoping to see him become like Big One in VMC.
That route.
But more natural and more raw. And I think we're gonna get that because I don't know if you guys saw the Instagram with J Park and Yugyeom dancing, and there's that song in the background playing. That was produced by apparently Cha-Cha Malone. So just from that little snippet, I think we are going to get something special. And I really do hope, I'm not trying to, put down the K-pop industry, but I really do hope, at the end of the day, I really hope that they can kind of just, stop for a minute and kind of just look at themselves and just see, am I really doing the right thing? Am I really helping these idols out, or am I?
But that's the thing, Daniel. Like, I don't think they're interested in helping these artists. It's more like they're making a certain persona. Like,
true.
Yeah, the K-pop industry, a lot of foreign fans, I think, are kind of, especially with K-pop, like, I see foreign people liking K-pop a lot, especially like in the Western Hemisphere. And like the reason they like it so much, not always the biggest reason, but a substantial reason, is that they think it's a very clean genre.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with the PC crowd. Like, I get what they're gravitated towards. Like, it's clean, it's safe. And that is definitely something that that is a very, what do you call it? That's a good thing about K-pop. But what you have to realize is that for an entire culture to be so sanitary on the outside, it means all kinds of shady and filthy shit is going in the background. Like, we already saw this. Every K-pop fan knows what burning sun means, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there has to be more awareness. Like, I know we're a hip-hop podcast, but since Yugyeom came up, I really wish K-pop fans could see more than pop about Korea. Like,
agreed.
Like, the pop you're seeing from the Korean scene is not exactly what you think it is, number one. And number two is that there's way more innovative, not necessarily commercially more successful, but definitely more innovative and creative music that is from Korea that is not strictly in the category of K-pop. And I hope, just like you just said, Daniel, with Yugyeom being more freed up, because I don't think J Park is going to manage Yugyeom the same way that JYP did.
For sure.
Because he was in JYP, right, Yugyeom? Yeah, because, he would, like, J Park will give him way more freedom because he has been there before. Like, he's a pioneer of that shit. Like, he's a pioneer of transitioning out of the K-pop sphere into fully transitioning into an hip-hop mogul. So I think this will be that catalyst for foreign fans and international fans to see that K-pop isn't everything about Korea. There's a huge, huge scene, not financially, but when it comes to diversity, there's a great scene here. So I hope people get to check it out more, I guess.
I hope so. Yeah. That happens.
It's a milestone, I guess.
For sure. I mean, we don't really know how long it's gonna take, but definitely, Yugyeom joining AOMG is a big move, and perhaps this will be the first step towards it.
Yeah. I really hope it is.
So yeah, let's look forward to Yugyeom's future moves in AOMG. All right, well, on to our next topic. So we have the High School Rapper 4 running on TV right now, and I don't know, have you guys checked out a few episodes yet?
I have.
What do you guys think?
Not the last one, though. Not the recent one.
But what did you guys initially think after watching the first few episodes?
For me, I thought so far it's been really good. Just because I haven't really, to be honest, I haven't really caught up with High School Rapper in the previous seasons. But now that I understand all the hype and then the excitement behind the High School Rapper program, after watching from the first episode till where we are now, I am really excited where this is going. And I'm really excited how hip hop in Korea is going to slowly expand. And I know Daytona has mentioned this many times about how, hip hop in Korea is very small, but I think with these programs, I think it'll slowly expand. I know it's going to take some time, but I think it's going to slowly
10 seasons of Show Me the Money, God damn it.
True. But in general, there are a lot of contestants that I am looking forward to for their future. Minus Trade L and DR. Yeah. But there are some contestants who I'm really excited for. And the one I'm really excited for is Kim Daeon.
Oh, wait, I think I remember him.
He's from Jeju-do. He has the glasses. Kind of looks like a nerd.
The super young guy, right?
The super young kid. Yeah.
Oh, let me look it up. Yeah.
When he performed his cipher, the 1 minute cipher, I was very blown away.
The not quite in high school yet, kind of a little bit nerdy looking kid.
Yeah. And I know a lot of the producers were very intrigued by his style, and so was I. I was just wow. I was blown away by his performance, and it was very catchy, very fun. But at the same time, he had the cadence to his game, his style of flow. So he's definitely an artist that I'm keeping my eyes on. But also, there's another artist by the name of Lee Sang-jae.
Yeah, I liked him. I was trying to talk about him. Yeah,
the vocal guy.
Lee Sang-jae is another contestant.
He's very
that
talented.
I'm really excited because apparently people are labeling him as like the Young Thug type.
Yeah,
because his voice has that Young Thug type voice. And man, I saw his performance and I was very shocked. I was just like, wow, this kid is very organic, very, very natural. And when he said that when he had the melody during the performance, it had that guitar sound. I was just like, whoa, how can he emulate the sound? So, and I love this story as well. It's very, very emotional, but you could tell that he's very hungry, that he wants to do well.
Yeah, that's what hip hop is
very
about.
serious. That he's very serious about being in the hip hop culture. So from that perspective, those two contestants I am generally the most excited for, but I know there are many more contestants I'm excited for, but from watching those two contestants, those two stand out to me the most. I don't know about you guys.
I was just trying to talk about Lee Sang-jae, but I can't do it better than what Daniel just did.
No, I'm sure you got a lot of stuff to say about him as well.
Like the Young Thug comparison, in a sense, is kind of right but wrong, I guess. Like he's Young Thug is more of a very eccentric rapper. I don't think Lee Sang-jae is quite eccentric, but he knows how to make a catchy melody. That's what both Young Thug and he does. Like that's the common ground with Young Thug. Like he makes these very obscure, like melodical patterns into something that is actually catchy. That's what Young Thug is so great at, and I think he does. Like, I think Lee Sang-jae can do that. It's just that Young Thug is more like he sounds a bit deranged, if you know what I mean. It's like with that squeaky ass voice, like like he does that.
Yeah.
Look, no disrespect to Young Thug, don't come at me, please. But like Lee Sang-jae is more cleaner. He's more melodic in the sense that a singer-songwriter would be rather than a rapper. But he fuses those styles very well, and that is a style that has potential to top the charts. That's what lots of people in Korea want to hear these days. So like he's like the only guy from the entire roster actually in which I see legitimate hit potential. Like this guy can make a chart topping song. Like they're very like all these rappers like in this season, there are many technically proficient ones, but I'm not sure if there's a person that can actually make a great record. Like they can maybe deliver some hot verses, but I want out of audition programs, I want an artist that can make a hot record, and putting all those hot records together and make a hot album. That's what I want the most out of audition programs. And I think Lee Sang-jae is really the one that has that potential. And his friend, the yellow hoodie with I think the chemistry he has with the dude's name is Hwang Se-yeon. Like the chemistry with these two guys, I think that's an also interesting point to see. There's also Lee Jong-un, the big boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think he's decent. Not quite as the potential I see in Lee Sang-jae, but I think if I have to pick one more person, I think he's definitely up there. Like dude knows how to he's not exactly tight in the sense like really rapping kind of tight, but he knows how to use his inflections. He knows how to give space between his bars so that it creates a certain very wavy groove. Although the beats he uses are very hardcore trap shit, but he sounds great over them. Like he literally sounds like a boss. You get what I mean? He does. Yeah, he sounds very laid back. He sounds confident, and that's not what a lot of high school rappers are capable of. Like they're very good, but they're not exactly confident. They're teenagers, and then Lee Jong-un has that confidence that others don't have. So my pick would be Lee Sang-jae, Hwang Se-yeon, and Lee Jong-un. Like these three guys, they have real potential.
For sure. What about you, Juan?
For me, I personally like Young Chance a lot, the little big guy. Yeah. The Chance, the Trade Out's friend, the slightly buddy. Yeah. So
what was his Korean name?
I forgot. I just know his rap name.
Like that's yeah.
Yeah, so I like his style. And honestly, I'm just waiting for Trade Out to truly show his potentials because right now I feel like he has that first his potentials yet. Okay. So that's what I'm waiting for. But honestly, I think it's kind of early in the show to judge right now. Like I want to see some actual original tracks come out from the program, and once the original tracks are out, I think we can say more stuff about the show. But so far, it's just the beginning, I think.
Yeah. Now, do you think Trade L, he's just very nervous? That's why maybe he's not performing as the way he wants it to be, just because his boss is judging him, but also you got a lot of people looking at him.
Yeah. I don't think it's because his boss is judging him. I think it's how others are looking at him.
Okay. Yeah. That's both ways, I think. It's both ways. Yeah.
Like the kid is 17, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
The kid is 17 and landed a very substantial spot on one of the hottest compilations of last year. Like he's not exactly starting from the same ground as these other kids in the competition.
True.
That means if he does not do a good job, it looks worse than what other kids would look like. You know what I mean? Like the other kids are like, is he really that good? Because, and I kind of understand other guys looking at him because To be perfectly honest, I don't think he has shown me a performance that topped the ones he already shown in the compilation album.
True.
Yeah.
So maybe it's an issue of him not being able to find exactly what kind of musical direction he wants to go to yet. But as of now, I think he should really try to construct solid verses, the ones like the verses he's shown on the compilation. But I'm not sure if he has a record in him yet.
But I'll
he's
say,
a capable rapper. But
in the previous episode where they had the team battle, where Trade L, D-Arc, and the other two were on the same team, where they performed to the Quiet's Hangang Gang.
Yeah,
I thought that was a redemptive performance for Trade L, just because it seemed like he was more relaxed. It seemed as if he was himself than his previous performances, but for sure, I do.
Maybe it's the beat.
Oh, it could be the beat.
Maybe it's the beat.
It could be the beat.
The beat is relaxing.
Yeah, but
the beat is super chill out. Yeah.
After watching that performance, I thought, okay, I think we're gonna get to see the real Trade L, the real style, the real stuff that he has performed, like you said, Daytona, in the Higher Music compilation album. So I am definitely excited for Trade L. But overall, in general, I think this is just my opinion. I think High School Rapper is slowly upgrading in a bit. That's just me. Just because season 3 was amazing. I love season 3, but just the performance that I've seen in this season so far, I think they're going in the right direction, meaning the season is going to be upgraded. So I'm really excited for this season, and I'm just happy for all the artists and the competition to be extremely high. So I'm really excited.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely a good transition after Show Me the Money 9 is over, you know. We're kind of like saying, you know, what new contents can we watch? And it came out, and so far it's good, I think. Yeah. So yeah, guys, as we slowly begin to wrap up our show, do you guys have any artists or tracks that you guys are currently listening to and would like to share and recommend to our listeners?
Yeah. Speaking of High School Rapper, I guess I can recommend a High School Rapper that hasn't been on High School Rapper yet.
Okay.
I guess everyone knows Big Naughty by now, right?
Of course.
Yeah. I'm planning on reviewing his album this week. Probably going to go up Saturday or Sunday, I think. It's a very short EP. It's about 5 tracks, I think. No, it wasn't 5 tracks. It was like 7 tracks.
I think it was 7.
Yeah, 7 tracks. Yeah, it was 7 tracks. One thing very interesting about this album was that he sampled and interpolated very famous samples. He took stuff from 70s Korean rock legends. He had a sample from Seoul, and he had a sample from Frank Ocean, which is how I don't know how he pulled it off, but he still did it. And one of my favorite songs on the album was 커피 가게 아가씨.
That was a good song.
Yeah. The other one I liked was 멋진 신세계, Brave New World. But
that was a good one as well.
Since I have to choose one of these, I guess I will go with 멋진 신세계, since 커피 가게 아저씨 was already released as a single. 멋진 신세계 is a track. It's in English, it means Brave New World.
Right.
The Aldous Huxley novel. This is basically too cool for school kind of track. The whole vibe about it is the lyrics and too. But this features a very prominent Seoul sample and a very new metal type of heavy rock sound. And not many people do that style anymore. So it actually seemed like a track that I have been waiting to hear from a high schooler. I don't go into a high schooler's album expecting maturity. I go into a high schooler albums expecting some rebelliousness, some cute observations and stuff like that. I want to go into a high schooler's album expecting a high schooler, not a 30-year-old rapper.
True.
And in that sense, Big Naughty really carried with this album, and especially this Brave New World track. it shows that more rebellious side in him, that more aggressive sound. Rohan has a killer feature on it. And, you know, like Big Naughty is being known for this very model student going to a private high school, listening to his mother, like stuff like that. Like that's why many people like him. But I think because he is the person to make this kind of rebellious track, I think it shows a very interesting side of him, that he's not one dimensional, that he's a very multifaceted artist. And this track shows that. So Brave New World, check it out. The Korean name is 멋진 신세계, and it features Rohan. Killer verse, killer beat, great performance, great melody hook, very symbolic sample. Everything about it is good. And it's also produced by PJ, who is famous for working with Benzino. So great overall. Just listen to it.
For sure. For me, in our previous episode, I brought up Don Mills. So this time I'm going to stick with the VMC label, and I'm going with Deep Flow's Big Brother. And this features DJ Soulscape, Don Mills, and Vasco, who's also goes by now Bill Stacks. And the song is off of Yanghwa in 2015, and it was again produced by TK. And again, I picked this song just solely because I needed energy. I needed something that'll motivate me, whether I'm working out or doing other work.
Yeah.
I just thought the song was just very, very symbolic in a way that's very, if you need,
it embodies what Deep Flow is.
Exactly. But also when you need energy, when you need a strong presence, I think the song is a good representation of that. And I think the title itself, Big Brother, I think it's really cool just knowing that VMC captures that kind of that hardcore, but also that family essence that, everybody's
mob shit.
Yeah, everybody's included as one. And if you look at his album from Yanghwa, or the songs in Yanghwa, a lot of it, focuses on life in general. And there's a lot of songs that are very personal to Deep Flow, but also he conveys a lot of family tone to it, the album.
Family values.
Exactly. So it's very traditional. The sounding can be traditional in some of the songs, but this one has that trap, but very elevated trap. It's very heavy trap. Yeah. So,
that hook is so great.
Oh yeah.
So simple. Big brother, big brother. My homies call me Big Brother.
Exactly.
Like, everyone is doing that. Like, oh my god! Like it knocks in the concert.
It's very simple.
I saw this on concert.
Exactly, and I think we need that song in today's day. So I just came across this song and I just kept listening to it over and over and over. So go check out Deep Flow's Big Brother.
Yeah,
great songs. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. But for our listeners, if you guys, liked our podcast, or if you guys have any comments, please let us know what you think of the topics we went over today. And of course, if you enjoyed today's episode, please go and subscribe to our podcast on all platforms. And don't forget to give us that 5-star rating. And of course, if you want more K-hip-hop juice, please go check out my YouTube channel, Show Me the One, for more interesting content, and also follow our social media page at Seoul_Therapy. Thank you guys so much for listening, and see you guys next time. Peace.